Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Does it feel like a good morning? Is that a yes? If it is, then let's hear good morning back as I greet you all. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Wonderful. Now it looks like a class of leadership here, because that is what we've signed up for today. So allow me to welcome you to the annual flagship event of ARIA, Aspire Summit 2024. I'm absolutely thrilled to invite you for the third edition of this event. And interestingly enough, the theme of the event, which is leadership in finance, is also the theme that I have chosen for my life as a leadership coach and an entrepreneur. My name is Yukti Kapoor Mehendiratta. And I'm super excited to bring to you a lot of interesting insight on leadership that can help you to do whatever you do even better as advisors and entrepreneurs. So the movement of ARIA, as I'm sure many of you are aware, is to create a community of learning and knowledge sharing and adapting global best practices. So let's open up to not just receive information, but also share information as you put your hand up to ask questions to the speakers who will take on the dais. Well, interestingly, very recently we celebrated Mahashivratri. And Mahashivratri is a celebration of Shiv and Shakti. And Shiv and Shakti resides in each one of us as well. It is the masculine and the feminine power that we all carry. And when we learn to strike the balance between the masculine power and the feminine power is when we truly become powerful leaders. So I want you to sit back and look out for a lot of insight that I want to share with you today on how to strike this balance between us all and among us all and within us all. How to leverage, how to evoke both Shiv and Shakti. Let's bring that on stage through conversations and the insights that will be extended to you through the stage. But before we start anything, we start with the attitude of gratitude. So allow me to thank our partners who've made this event possible. Our platinum partners, DSP, Quantum Mutual Funds, SBI Mutual Funds, and HDFC Mutual Funds. A round of applause for our platinum partners, please. Thank you. Gold partners, White Oak Capital Mutual Funds, Axis Mutual Funds, HSBC Mutual Funds, and S&P Dow Jones Indices. A round of applause for our gold partners. Thank you. And silver partners, Mirae Assets and Tata Mutual Funds. A huge round of applause for all our partners, thanking them for their support to make this event happen. Thank you so much. Let me now bring on stage someone who has been sweating hard backstage, making all of this possible for you, ensuring every small detail falls in place. That's Mrs. Renu here for you, who is the Aspire Summit Chair 2024, a board member of ARIA. Please extend a warm welcome to Renu, a woman committed to living a life of purpose and growth for self and others. Currently pursuing this goal through fiduciary financial planning and investment management practices and related services. Over to you, Renu.
Thank you very much, Yukti, and welcome to one and all over here. I'm so glad to see all of you, and you will see me scrambling through papers because I'm not used to reading papers, whereas I did write few notes to share with all of you. So let me just give a moment and spread it all around. So first of all, welcome to Aspire 24. This is the third in-person event of ARIA and the second Aspire. What does Aspire stand for? Aspire for ARIA is aspire to grow, aspire to elevate the standards of our practice so that investors benefit, aspire to establish a fiduciary advisory in India. That's our aspiration. And I shouldn't forget, aspire to be 100,000 from 950. Okay, let's reach 100,000 before we reach 1 million, one step at a time. Aspire this year was woven around a theme of leadership in finance. And when we talk about leadership in finance, like Yukti said, this is a different kind of leadership that we want to talk about this year. A leadership which conjures up different kind of images in different people. It's not just the male alpha leadership that we talk about. There are different styles, different kind of people who lead the country, who lead things in a different manner. Today, we have lined up a whole list of speakers who will represent this kind of leadership, a different kind of leadership to you in their own style and in their own banner. I'm going to take you through this list because this is something which was close to our heart, how we curated the event between me and Dilshad and all our ARIA team, and that's something which I need to bring forward around close to the March 8th and International Women's Day time as well. We have tried to get our economic advisor of the country to talk to us. He's a chief economic advisor. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it in person today due to some meetings with the finance minister, so he'll be addressing us online. Nevertheless, you can all interact with him. And that's one viewpoint which we are bringing. The future of economics of the country, how the country is going, in what direction it's moving, and that brings one factor of leadership. That's the ultimate one, overall leadership of the country. What should we plan to do in future? We have brought in Mitch Anthony from USA. A lot of you know him by name. Dominic Alafasi, if I have pronounced your name correctly, from Australia, to give you a perspective from the markets which are ahead of us in terms of capitalism. They developed a little more in terms of capitalism before us, so those experiences shared by them which will be very useful for us. But I cannot forget what Yukti said, Shiva Shakti. We cannot forget the deep civilizational knowledge that exists within our own country. And we have tried to bring that aspect through Yukti's Shiva Shakti and lots of activities which we will have during the day. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, both these things put together is going to be a magical potion for all of you to develop this leadership in your life. And why do we talk about leadership for personal finance or for advisors? Because we believe that advisors at some point in time will have to act as leaders in their clients' lives. And how do you make yourself, how do you bring yourself to that position that clients treat you as leaders, come to you, rather than you advertising about your profession or your services. So we want to have a pull factor in our industry. That's our aim. There's an interesting episode I definitely want to share in the morning, right in the morning. Putting speakers together, I think those who have organized events know, not so easy. But more than that, sometimes bringing them onto the venue becomes a more important and a more difficult proposition. We had this episode with one of our international speakers, and we had almost given up because his flight was at 12 midnight, and we were at 10:30 p.m., and his visa was still not in his hand. I can sweat right now thinking about it. Fortunately, we had the help of Chairperson, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs, visa officers from Delhi, Chicago Consulate, VFS Chicago, who opened their office for longer time. From 10:30 to 4 a.m., we went through a series of events, which I would like to tabulate someday in a book. And at 4 a.m., Mitch had the visa in his hand. It's an interesting thing. I'm not going to take more time on the stage about that. When we talk in person, I'm definitely going to love to share an experience of my life. And I'm sure for Mitch as well, while he was running around, filling up the form at a donut shop, me waking up my husband to supervise the form because we were so nervous we might have made mistakes in there. And then he printing, going to VFS office personally, giving the form, waiting, visa officer waiting downstairs, and the VFS lady processing the documents upstairs. So it's quite a scenario for that evening, late evening. We have one wonderful speaker, and I want to share again about her, and I'll also give a reason why I'm sharing about her. We have Dr. Kiran Bedi in the evening for us. And I was personally excited when I saw that we can get her on stage and can get to talk to her in person. I was in college when she became the first woman IPS officer in the country. I remember I was so fascinated by her, I even wielded her hairstyle for 3 to 4 years. Till people started saying, it doesn't suit you, please give up. You can't be Kiran Bedi just by having a hairstyle. But she's going to be there today evening talking to us and inspiring us for our lives. I'm sure the younger people do not relate that much to her, but for our generation, she's quite a story for us. I'm sure leadership stories are there forever and to be heard and spoken about and learned from forever. I don't want to keep on talking forever. I can keep talking forever, we advisors can, but I don't want to keep on talking. Ladies and gentlemen, this session of Aspire, or all sessions of Aspire, are not meant only for knowledge sharing. Knowledge sharing happens by the way, and knowledge sharing is just an excuse for all of us to get together at one place. All these events which we try to do in person take a lot of effort, but the purpose behind that is we all come together. Not only the members of ARIA, but all the stakeholders within this ecosystem. So today we have representation from SEBI, we have representation from NISM, BSE ladies are also going to come, and yes, more ladies today because it's a ARIA event. And we will have CFA Institute coming over here. We will have FPSP Institute people coming over here. We will also have students coming in the afternoon to interact with all of you as a college to corporate kind of an activity that we all want to take up. The purpose is simple. We talk, we network, we share ideas which are outside the closed boardroom, as Mr. Trivedi had so rightly put it. That's where the knowledge sharing happens. That's where real development will happen. We are not an association who goes out with a banner saying, "Hamari mange puri karo." We are an association who wants to build up this industry in a manner which probably is unheard of. We want a flourishing fiduciary financial advisory in the country. Every step of the way, we plan to do that. The best part was we could also get a host who herself is a leadership coach and can add so much value to what we are doing today or what we are trying to learn. With this, I can hand over the mic to Vivek now. Vivek Rege, as we all know, is our current chairperson of ARIA board. He has a company which is one of the first 30 companies to be registered as registered investment advisor in the country. And he has completed more than 2 decades in this space. So founder, director ARIA, and current chairperson of ARIA, Mr. Vivek Rege. Thank you.
Thank you, Renu. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to, see everyone all here. This event is very close to our heart, and look forward every year to, catch up with the people out here as well as the new members who keep coming, into the industry. So with here, I would like to wish everyone a wonderful learning day for today for Aspire. So today, as we get together, we not only celebrate our collective aspirations, for growth and success, but also reaffirm our unwavering commitment to uphold the highest ethical standards in our profession. This is so very important, when we talk from an association point of view. And ARIA definitely stands for that, the way it has been demonstrating across to various stakeholders. So at the heart of all our endeavors lies a very steadfast dedication to integrity, transparency, and trustworthiness. And we are all here to make sure that that is upheld at all times. This wouldn't have been possible without the confidence of our regulator SEBI, and thanks to that, the confidence which the regulator has shown in us and the windows of communication which they have opened for us has opened up a new whole world to see how an ARIA profession can thrive going forward. Our first line regulator BSL also has been cooperating since they became our first line regulator here. I couldn't thank more to our partners who continue to support us. They have been continuing even before ARIA was born, and as we continue their support every year, they keep inspiring us to do better. We have an army of volunteers which work in the back end, and I'm so proud of them because the dedication and the time which they give, apart from their practice, is commendable. And I would like to thank all of them here, who have been working silently in the background to make ARIA what it is today. And most importantly, my board, the present as well as the past, who has been the pillars of support, and a guiding light for us to move forward. I would like to spend some time with all of you to show what ARIA has done in the last 10 months. So we have today about 346 members and growing. Every week we have new members who join, and that keeps us more exciting. We are looking at a hockey stick growth. Okay, a time had come when we were looking at the member count coming down, and now we see the member count going up gradually with every passing week, and that is making us more positive and more exciting times ahead. ARIA has been across 38 cities. We are a 10-member board group with about 20 plus volunteers here, and a mix of individuals and corporates who are our members today. So the vision for ARIA has been to have gold standards for holistic independent advice for investors seeking personal finance solutions. And the mission has always been to adhere to the code of ethics and global best practices for the investors' well-being. And that's been the starting point. This was a milestone event which we had on 4th of October when the SEBI Chairperson, Madam Madhavi Buch, had inaugurated the rescue tool for us and addressed the audience with around 200 attendees. In that event itself, a lot of discussions happened. Harsh had taken a Q&A with ma'am on this, and it was one of the occasions which we will always remember in the history of ARIA. Just to take you on the activities which happened over the last 10 months, I think our partners, who are one of the most important pillars, who have been continuously supporting us, we had about 11 sessions with them. We had 70 sessions organized for our members over a period of 10 months. We had 3 workshops, more immersive learning for them. 4 ARIA clinics have been conducted, one specifically for Network FP, and the other was for the CFA Society. We have activated 5 chapters, which includes Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, NCR, Bangalore, and Chennai. And more chapters will be opened over the next few months as well. ARIA also launched a compliance certification session this year, and we have got a fabulous number of attendees attending it. We can see a lot of interest, especially on the compliance part, and how we can help them to keep complying and doing the right thing. A lot of advocacy initiatives were handled this year. So we had a joint study by ARIA and CFA, which was a white paper on the impact of ARIA regulations, which was essentially to work on what are the possible areas in which we can improve the regulations to give a hockey stick growth, for the industry, which was submitted to SEBI. We had responded to 7 consultation papers of SEBI during the last 10 months. Detailed complaint analysis was done to identify how regulations can support, an area who has investor-friendly behaviors. Worked with SEBI and BSL on strategic as well as operational elements to try to smoothen the practices of RI professionals. We also held meetings with NISM and discussions around the examination related, improvement areas as well. We had suggestions made for the centralized death reporting mechanism to make it operationally smoother. 2 of our board members are also on the BSL Advisory Council as well. So a lot of suggestions for improvement with the first line regulator as well. And very recently we had published a report on direct plans contribution by various channels, which also included the RIAs, which was done by AMFI on their website. I think a lot of these efforts are going behind the curtain, and I think very thankful to the regulator who is allowing us to have a continuous dialogue and meeting them, allowing us to understand them and they understanding us. And I think the progress is really happening at a very fast pace. The ISC, which is the Intermediary Advisory Committee, in which we are members there as well. So working group committees for ease of doing business report was submitted recently. There was a working group for evaluation of regulatory approach to various categories of intermediaries was also done. ISF, which is the Industry Standards Forum for the development of standard practices and reporting. So if you can see, there is a continuous effort which has just happened over the last 10 months. And an army of people who are working along, giving suggestions and helping us to kind of move in that direction. So let us remember that our commitment to ethical standards not only safeguards the interest of the investors, but also fosters the long-term relationships built on trust and integrity. So let us aspire together to grow and reach new heights of success. And thank you very much for joining us today morning. I wish you all a great learning today, from the Aspire 2024. And we'll keep communicating and interacting with you during the day. Yeah? Thank you so much.